Welcome to Workspan TV. I'm Ryan Johnson. I'm joined today in this segment with Professor Dow Scott of Loyola University Chicago. He's also a consultant and a longtime contributor to World at Work. And we're talking about counteroffers, and he's going to offer some advice for organizations that are either involved in counteroffers or need some tips on how to do better counteroffers.
We did a counteroffer study, and pretty in depth, back in 2005. And one of the things we were wondering is if the research we did in 2005, if things had changed. And especially with the economy the way it is, and as the economy improves, are people going to be forced into making counteroffers to employees? Lots of organizations make counteroffers. I mean, it's a very, it's something that you do. You get into situations where you really don't want to lose somebody. You try to, keep them in the organization. However, like we found in 2005, most organizations, literally 85% of organizations, have no policy, have no procedure, have no plan for dealing with counteroffers. So they treat every counteroffer or potential for counteroffer very ad hoc. Our experience is, and what we've talked about and what we've seen, is that's a very risky or short-run strategy. You may not have to tell employees that you'll offer counteroffers for certain jobs, but managers need to know. They need to know when they come to the compensation department or when they go to senior management, under what framework are they going to make counteroffers to employees, and which employees aren't they going to make counteroffers to. Counteroffers typically have to happen within 2 or 3 days. From the time the employee says, hey, I'm out of here, for another job. If you have any hope of holding that person, you have to make the decision and you have to come back with some kind of proposal in a very, very short time. Thinking that out, having a systematic policy, I think is as important as it is today as it was in 2005 when we first did the research.
Dow, are there best practices related to counteroffers?
Well, like I said, one is to have a policy in the first place. Have a framework, have people identified that you would consider eligible for counteroffers. That's fundamental. A second issue is not just offering people something initially to hold them, it's making sure that you fix whatever the problem was for holding that person. And the question here is, if the person is having trouble with their supervisor, simply offering them more money may initially encourage them to give it another shot. If that supervisor is still a major problem, you're going to lose them anyway in the short run. One interesting fact, though, that we did find is that with counteroffers, you think that, well, somebody you have to offer them a counteroffer, they stay, you're going to probably lose them anyway. That's sort of the general knowledge out there. We found that not to be true. What we found is that if you give someone a counteroffer, they are just as likely to stay with your organization as someone that never received a counteroffer or attempted to leave. So the idea that you give somebody a counteroffer can be a good business decision if you really want to hold the person, and you have a very good likelihood of keeping that person.
And of course, as you just said, in the counteroffer environment, it's no different than the total rewards environment. You need to use all the tools available to keep people engaged and attracted, motivated, retained, etc., correct?
Yeah, that's quite correct.
Well, let me just say thanks to Professor Dow Scott from Loyola University Chicago, who's also a consultant and longtime contributor to World at Work, for giving us some tips on counteroffers. And for Workspan TV and World at Work, I'm Ryan Johnson.